The rain hit Chicago like bullets the night everything started. Not normal rain either. This was the kind that turned streets black, drowned out sirens, and made the whole city feel dead. After midnight, Marcus Hill sat inside his rusty pickup outside a gas station, smoking half a cigarette while staring at the empty road. To 13 a.m. The neon open sign above the store kept flickering, was struggling to stay alive. Inside the passenger seat, his younger cousin Tyler scrolled TikTok with no signal for the 100th time. "Bro, why we even out here this late?" Tyler asked. Marcus shrugged. "Needed the cash. The old dude really paying $5,000 just to pick up boxes from some farmhouse." Apparently, Tyler laughed nervously. "Sounds sketchy as hell." Marcus didn't disagree. "Honestly, everything about this job felt wrong. 3 hours earlier, some old man named Walter approached Marcus at the auto shop where he worked, said he needed reliable people for a delivery run north of the city. No details. Cash up front. And one weird warning before Marcus left. If you hear knocking, don't open the door. At the time, Marcus thought the guy was just crazy. Now, sitting alone near the edge of nowhere with a storm rolling in, that warning kept replaying in his head. Tyler suddenly looked up from his phone. "Yo." Marcus glanced at him. "What?" Tyler pointed across the road slowly. "There's somebody standing out there." Marcus looked through the rain. At first he saw nothing. Then lightning flashed. And for 1 second a woman stood beside the road. Still. Motionless. Wearing a long white dress, soaked by rain. Marcus frowned immediately. "Hell's she doing out here?" Tyler leaned closer to the windshield. "You think she needs help?" The woman slowly lifted her head toward the truck. Marcus felt cold instantly. Something about her face looked off. Pale, and her smile way too wide. Marcus started the truck immediately. "Nope." Tyler blinked. "Bro, what? We're leaving." The woman suddenly took one slow step toward the road, still smiling. Lightning flashed again, and now she was closer. Way closer. Tyler sat up fast. "Yo, what the?" Marcus hit the gas hard. The truck pulled onto the highway fast while rain exploded across the windshield. Tyler looked back through the rear window. "She's gone." Marcus kept driving silently. His stomach felt tight. Now, the GPS led them farther north into heavy forest roads where streetlights completely disappeared. Only trees. Dark endless trees. The deeper they drove, the weirder the night felt. No cars. No animals. Nothing. Then the radio turned on by itself. Static blasted loudly through the truck. Tyler jumped. "Jesus." Marcus grabbed the dial, but the static kept growing louder. Then a voice came through. Weak. Distorted. Double quotes. "Don't stop." Both froze. The voice crackled again. "If she knocks, don't let her in." Then silence. The radio shut off completely. Tyler stared at Marcus. "Nah, bro. Turn around." Marcus wanted to. God, he wanted to. But they'd already spent the upfront cash. And Marcus needed this job badly. "We grab the boxes and leave," Marcus muttered. Tyler shook his head nervously. "This some horror movie stuff." Lightning flashed overhead again, and Marcus slammed the brakes instantly. Someone stood in the middle of the road. The same woman. Smiling. Rain poured down her face while she stared directly into the truck. Tyler whispered, "How the hell did she get here before us?" The woman slowly raised one hand. Knock. Knock. She wasn't touching the truck, but somehow they both heard knocking anyway. From inside the cab, Marcus's breathing got heavier. The woman's smile stretched wider. Then she mouthed 4 words. "Let me inside." Tyler panicked instantly. "Drive." Marcus slammed the gas pedal. The truck sped forward directly toward her, but right before impact, the woman disappeared. Gone. Completely gone. The truck flew through empty rain-covered road. Marcus looked in the mirrors desperately. Nothing there. Then Tyler stopped breathing. Marcus noticed instantly. "What?" Tyler pointed slowly toward Marcus's side window. And there she was. Running beside the truck. Smiling. Keeping pace effortlessly at 70 miles per hour. Her head tilted unnaturally sideways. Then, she whispered through the glass, "You shouldn't have looked at me." The truck lights suddenly died. Everything went black, and something slammed onto the roof above them. Something dragged across the truck roof. Slow. Heavy. S. C. R. A. Tyler nearly lost it instantly. "Bro, there's something up there." Marcus gripped the steering wheel harder, while trying to keep the truck straight in complete darkness. The headlights were dead. The dashboard flickered weakly. Only lightning flashes let them see the road every few seconds. Then, thud, something landed on the hood. Marcus screamed and slammed the brakes. The truck skidded sideways violently across the wet road before crashing into a ditch. Silence. Just rain. Steam rose slowly from the hood. Marcus groaned in pain while blood dripped from a cut above his eyebrow. Tyler looked completely panicked. "You okay?" "I think so." Then lightning flashed. And both of them froze. The woman crouched on the hood of the truck, watching them through the cracked windshield, smiling wider than before. Her eyes looked wrong now. Pitch black. No pupils. No whites. Just darkness. Tyler whispered shakily, "That ain't human." The woman slowly lifted one finger to her lips, like she wanted silence. Then dash knock. This time directly on the windshield. Marcus remembered Walter's warning instantly. "If you hear knocking, don't open the door." The woman began circling the truck slowly in the rain, knocking softly on different windows as she walked. Tap. Tyler started hyperventilating. "Bro, we gotta get out of here." "And go where?" The forest around them looked endless now. Black trees stretching forever into darkness. Then the truck radio crackled back to life. Static exploded through the speakers, and a terrified man's voice screamed through it, "She's not alone." Immediately something massive slammed into the side of the truck. Boom. The whole vehicle rocked violently. Marcus looked toward the passenger window and saw a tall figure standing beside the truck. At least 7 feet tall, its face hidden beneath dripping black shadows, but its smile, that horrible smile again. Too wide, too human. Too wrong. Tyler started crying instantly. No. More shapes appeared between the trees, watching silently. Tall. Thin. Motionless. The woman suddenly stopped walking, then smiled directly at Marcus. "You brought them here." Her voice sounded layered. Like multiple people speaking together. Marcus's stomach dropped. "What does that mean?" The woman tilted her head unnaturally. "You looked at us." Then, every figure in the forest started moving closer at once. Marcus immediately tried starting the truck. Again. Nothing. Again. Nothing. Tyler whispered, "We're dead." Then the engine roared back to life suddenly. Marcus didn't question it. He slammed the gas instantly. The truck ripped out of the ditch and sped down the road violently while creatures rushed after them through the trees. Some ran on 2 legs, some on all 4s, some crawled upside down across branches. Above the truck, the woman kept pace beside them again. Somehow, still smiling through the rain. Marcus drove faster. 100 miles per hour. The road twisted sharply through the forest. Then suddenly the GPS screen turned back on. A single message appeared. "Turn back now," Tyler shouted. "Listen to IT." But before Marcus could react, a massive deer stepped into the road, except it wasn't a deer anymore. Its body looked twisted. Broken. Extra legs bent from its stomach, unnaturally while human looking. I stared directly into the truck headlights. Marcus swerved violently. The truck flew off the road and smashed through wooden fencing. Crashed. Airbags exploded. The world went white for a second. Then, silence. Marcus slowly pushed himself upright, groaning. The truck had stopped completely, but they weren't on the road anymore. They sat in the middle of an old field surrounded by dead corn. Rain poured over everything. And ahead of them a farmhouse stood alone in darkness. One light burned. Upstairs. Tyler whispered weakly, "Please tell me that's the place." Marcus stared at the farmhouse. Something felt horribly wrong. The house looked abandoned, rotten, like nobody lived there for years. Then the upstairs curtain moved slightly. Someone was watching them. And slowly a child's voice echoed from inside the house. "You're late." The farmhouse door opened by itself. Slowly. Creak. Rain hammered the dead cornfield, while Marcus and Tyler sat frozen inside the wrecked truck staring at the dark entrance. The upstairs light flickered weakly. Tyler whispered, "Bro, we are not going in there." Marcus looked back toward the road, or where the road should have been. There was nothing now. Only endless dead corn moving in the wind. And between the crops, those smiling figures stood silently watching them, waiting. Marcus grabbed the tire iron from under his seat. "We stay out here. We die." Tyler didn't argue after that. Both climbed from the truck, carefully into the mud. The air smelled rotten, like wet dirt mixed with something dead. The farmhouse looked worse up close. Wood rotting apart, broken windows, black stains running down the walls, like something had leaked from inside. Yet somehow, that upstairs light still glowed. A small porch swing moved slowly on its own. Back, forth, back, forth. No wine touched it. Tyler stared nervously toward the cornfield. "Yo, they're still watching us." Marcus looked. The creatures hadn't moved closer. They just stood there smiling between the corn stalks, like they already knew where this night ended. Then the child's voice came again from inside the house. "You should hurry." Marcus stepped onto the porch first. The wood creaked beneath him. Tyler stayed glued to his side. The front door stood wide open now. Inside, darkness. Marcus swallowed hard and stepped in. The smell hit instantly. Mold, rot, and something metallic. Blood. Tyler gagged immediately. Oh hell no. The living room looked frozen in time. Old furniture covered in dust. Family photos hanging crooked on walls. A grandfather clock, ticking loudly, despite having no pendulum moving. Tick, tick, tick. Rain tapped softly against broken windows. Then Marcus noticed something weird. Every family photo had the faces scratched out. Every single one. Tyler whispered, "Who even lives here?" A small laugh echoed upstairs. Not playful, wrong, like a kid trying to imitate human laughter. Marcus tightened his grip on the tire iron. "We get help and leave." They slowly moved deeper inside. The floorboards groaned beneath every step. Then, click, the front door slammed shut behind them. Both spun instantly. Locked. Tyler rushed to it immediately and pulled hard. Nothing. It won't open. Marcus tried too. The door didn't even budge. Then footsteps echoed upstairs. Small footsteps, running, fast. The child laughed again. "You came inside." Tyler backed away from the stairs immediately. "Nah man, no." Then the kitchen light suddenly turned on by itself. Warm yellow light spilled across the hallway. Marcus frowned. Someone stood in the kitchen doorway. A little boy, maybe 8 years old. Pale skin, blonde hair, wearing dirty pajamas, and smiling. Always the smile. Marcus carefully lowered the tire iron slightly. "You live here?" The boy nodded slowly. Tyler whispered, "Marcus, something ain't right." The boy tilted his head unnaturally far sideways. "You brought them with you." Marcus felt cold instantly. "The things outside." The boy smiled wider. "They get hungry when people arrive." Then all the lights in the house flickered at once. The little boy suddenly appeared closer. Way closer. Marcus never saw him move. Tyler grabbed Marcus's arm hard. "Did you see that?" The boy pointed upstairs slowly. "She wants to meet you." Marcus frowned. "Who?" The boy's smile twitched slightly. "My mother." Lightning flashed outside. For 1 second, the whole house lit up bright white, and Marcus saw dozens of people standing silently in the living room around them, smiling, watching. Then darkness again. Tyler screamed, "We need to go." The figures vanished instantly. The little boy giggled softly. "She likes when people panic." Marcus stepped backward slowly. "Kid, who are you?" The boy's smile faded for the first time, and when he answered, his voice sounded older now. Much older. "We died here." Silence filled the house. Then every clock inside the farmhouse started ticking loudly at once. Tick, tick, tick. Tyler whispered shakily, "Marcus." Marcus looked toward the staircase slowly. A woman stood at the top, tall, thin, wearing a black dress soaked with dark stains. Long black hair covered most of her face, but beneath it, that same impossible smile stretched ear to ear. The little boy looked up at her lovingly. "Mom's been waiting." The woman slowly lifted one hand and pointed directly at Marcus. Then every light in the house shut off instantly. Complete darkness swallowed them, and upstairs something huge began crawling across the ceiling. Marcus couldn't see anything. Not the stairs dot, not Tyler dot, nothing dot only. Darkness dot, then dash SCOAAA at CH dot. Something dragged itself across the ceiling above. Them dots heavy dot, wet dot, wrong dot, Tyler. Single quotes S breathing became shaky beside him. Bro. Marcus gripped the tire iron tighter while backing toward where he thought the kitchen was. Then lightning flashed through the windows. 1 second he saw it. It dot something enormous clung upside down to the ceiling dot, its limbs stretched across the entire hallway like a giant spider. Its skin looked pale grey. Its mouth hung unnaturally open, and its eyes, there were too many eyes. The lightning vanished. Darkness again. Tyler screamed. What the hell was that? The thing moved instantly. Crash. Furniture exploded somewhere nearby. Marcus swung the tire iron blindly. Nothing. Then the little boy's voice echoed through the darkness. "She's awake now." Marcus shouted angrily. "Who is she?" The child laughed softly. "The thing wearing my mother." A cold wave hit Marcus's entire body. Then something grabbed Tyler. Hard. Tyler screamed while crashing into furniture. "Marcus, help." Marcus rushed toward the sound. Blindly. Another lightning flash lit the room. Tyler was being dragged across the floor toward the staircase by long pale hands coming from underneath the stairs. Human hands, dozens of them. Marcus swung the tire iron hard. Crack. One hand broke instantly. Black liquid sprayed across the floor. The hands released Tyler immediately and disappeared back beneath the stairs. Tyler scrambled backward, shaking violently. "We need to leave." The upstairs woman suddenly laughed. Except now the laugh sounded huge, like multiple people laughing together inside the walls. Then the house itself groaned. The wallpaper began peeling on its own. Black stains spread slowly across the ceiling like living mold. And family photos started falling from the walls one by one. Smash. Smash. Marcus looked down at one broken photo frame. The picture inside finally became visible. A family standing outside this farmhouse. Mother. Father. Little boy. But every face had that same horrifying smile. And behind them something tall stood inside the upstairs window. Watching. Marcus slowly realized something horrifying. That thing had always been here, long before tonight. Tyler suddenly pointed toward the kitchen doorway. Marcus. A woman stood there now. Not the upstairs woman. Another one. Her jaw hung broken sideways, while she smiled. Then another person appeared behind her. Then another. Then another. The entire kitchen filled with pale smiling people slowly walking toward them. Marcus grabbed Tyler instantly. Upstairs. What move? They sprinted upstairs while the smiling figures chased them slowly below. The second floor. Hallway stretched longer than it should have. Doors lined both sides endlessly. Rain hammered the roof above them. Then every bedroom door slowly opened at once. K. Inside each room people stood smiling in darkness. Watching them pass. Some looked normal, some horribly twisted, some looked half-rotten. One room contained only hanging bodies slowly swaying from the ceiling fan. Tyler nearly threw up. No. Then the little boy suddenly appeared at the end of the hallway, blocking their path, still smiling. "You weren't supposed to run." Marcus raised the tire iron. "Get out of the way." The boy's expression slowly changed. Not angry. Sad. "You." Looked at her. The hallway lights flickered. Then Every smiling person inside the rooms turned their heads toward Marcus at the exact same time. The little boy whispered, "Now she knows your face." Then the walls started moving, literally moving. The hallway stretched longer, while doors multiplied endlessly. Tyler panicked instantly. The house is changing. A deep scream echoed somewhere inside the walls. Not human. The entire farmhouse shook violently. Then the upstairs woman crawled onto the ceiling above. Then fast spider dash like her limbs cracked backward. While she rushed across the ceiling directly toward Marcus, Tyler screamed. Marcus swung the tire iron upward hard. The woman caught it instantly with one hand. Smiling inches from his face now. Her mouth slowly opened wider. Wider until it split open far beyond human limits. And inside her throat more faces were moving. Smiling. Whispering. Then she spoke in multiple voices together. "You should have stayed on the road." The woman's face split wider. Those faces inside her throat kept moving, whispering, crying, smiling. Marcus shoved her backward hard and grabbed Tyler. "Run." They sprinted deeper down the impossible hallway, while the ceiling creature crawled after them upside down at terrifying speed. The house no longer made sense. Doors appeared where walls used to be. Hallways stretched endlessly. Windows now showed places that weren't outside. One window showed the road. Another showed the dead cornfield. Another showed Marcus and Tyler running through the hallway from behind. Tyler saw it too and nearly collapsed. "What the hell is this house?" Marcus didn't answer, because honestly, he was starting to realize this wasn't really a house anymore. It was something else, something alive. Then suddenly, the hallway ended. Both stopped hard. A giant room stood ahead, old, dark, filled with candles. And in the center, a dining table. Dozens of people sat around it silently, all smiling, none moving. Marcus recognized some of them instantly. Missing person posters, faces from news reports, people who vanished near these woods for years, all sitting there like mannequins, watching, waiting. At the head of the table sat the woman, except now she looked normal, beautiful even. Black dress, dark hair, soft smile. Like a completely different person. Tyler whispered, "That ain't the same thing." The woman slowly stood up. "You finally made it upstairs." Her voice sounded calm now. "Human." Marcus kept the tire iron raised. "What do you want from us?" The woman tilted her head slightly. "To stay." Marcus laughed nervously. "Ya no." The smiling people around the table slowly turned their heads toward Marcus together. The woman stepped closer. "You looked at us on the road." Another step. "You accepted the invitation." Another step. "And now the house remembers you." Marcus felt cold all over. "What are you talking about?" The woman smiled softly. "This place feeds on attention." Silence. Tyler frowned. "Bro, what does that even mean?" The woman looked toward Tyler. And for the first time, her smile twitched slightly. "You weren't supposed to come." Tyler backed up instantly. Marcus noticed it too. Something about Tyler was different to her. Then Marcus remembered something. On the road, Tyler never looked directly at the woman. Only Marcus did. The woman slowly pointed at Marcus. "The house chose you." The walls suddenly groaned loudly. The candles flickered violently, and all the smiling people at the table began whispering together. Hundreds of overlapping voices filled the room. Marcus couldn't understand the words, until suddenly he could. "Stay, stay, stay." Tyler grabbed Marcus hard. "We gotta move now." The woman's face instantly twisted again, her jaw cracking wider. "No leaving." Every person at the table stood up simultaneously. Chairs screeched across the floor. Marcus swung the tire iron at the nearest one. Crack. The smiling man's skull caved inward. But he kept walking anyway. Tyler screamed, "They don't die." The room exploded into chaos. The smiling people rushed toward them unnaturally fast, while the house itself began shaking harder. Marcus grabbed a candle holder and smashed a nearby window. Glass shattered outward. Cold rain blasted inside. There. Both climbed through instantly onto the farmhouse roof. The storm nearly knocked them over immediately. Wind howled across the rooftop, while lightning flashed overhead. Behind them, the smiling people crowded the broken window, watching silently, not following, just watching. The woman slowly crawled out upside down onto the roof above them. Rain poured down her pale face, while she smiled wider. "You can't leave the property." Marcus looked down from the roof edge. The dead cornfield stretched endlessly around the farmhouse, and between the corn, thousands of smiling faces stared upward. Not dozens, thousands. Tyler whispered in horror, "Oh my God." Then the farmhouse front door opened below by itself, and Walter stepped out, the old man who hired Marcus. Marcus stared in disbelief. "You?" Walter looked exhausted, terrified, like he hadn't slept in years. "I tried warning you," he shouted over the storm. Marcus screamed angrily. "What is this place?" Walter looked toward the woman crawling above them, then quietly answered, "It's hungry again." Lightning exploded across the sky, and for one horrifying second, Marcus saw the truth. The farmhouse wasn't sitting on land. Beneath it, something massive moved under the ground, something alive, and the entire house slowly shifted, like it was breathing. Rain poured harder across the living farmhouse. Marcus stared at the ground below the house, moving like something gigantic was buried underneath it. The whole building breathed slowly. Up, down, up, down. Tyler backed away, shaking violently. "No, bro." Not Walter looked up from below the roof. "You boys need to listen carefully." The woman crawling above them smiled wider. Too late. The smiling people inside the farmhouse suddenly began smashing against the windows. Bang, bang, bang. Their pale faces pressed against the glass, while they watched Marcus hungrily. Walter shouted again, "The house feeds on fear. If it marks you completely, you become part of it." Marcus yelled back angrily, "Then how do we stop it?" Walter hesitated. That hesitation told Marcus everything. "There ain't a clean way," Walter admitted quietly. Lightning exploded overhead. The woman above them suddenly dropped from the roof ceiling directly toward Marcus. Fast. Way too fast. Marcus barely dodged as she slammed into the shingles beside him unnaturally. Her limbs twisted backward, while she smiled up at him. "You looked at me," she whispered. Marcus swung the tire iron hard. Crack. Her jaw snapped sideways, but she kept laughing. Tyler suddenly grabbed Marcus. "Bro, look." The dead cornfield was moving, not from wind. People were emerging from it, hundreds of them. Smiling. Walking slowly toward the farmhouse. All the missing people. All the victims. Marcus finally understood. Nobody ever left this place. Walter climbed onto the porch roof, below them holding an old shotgun. His hands shook badly. "I brought people here before," he admitted. Marcus stared down at him in disbelief. "You what?" Walter looked broken. "Tried feeding the house strangers, so it'd leave my family alone." Silence hit Marcus hard. Then anger exploded inside him. "You brought us here." Walter nodded slowly with tears in his eyes. "But it never stops being hungry." The woman beside Marcus suddenly whispered happily, "It wants more tonight." The entire farmhouse shook violently. Then the roof beneath Tyler cracked. Tyler screamed as part of the rooftop collapsed inward. Marcus grabbed his arm just in time. Tyler dangled above darkness inside the house, and below him faces moved in the walls. Actual faces trapped beneath the wood. Whispering. Begging. Smiling. Marcus strained desperately, trying to pull Tyler up. The woman crawled closer slowly. "No one leaves." Walter raised the shotgun instantly. "Boom." The blast ripped through the woman's shoulder. Black liquid exploded across the roof. She screamed, not in pain, in anger. Every smiling person around the farmhouse suddenly stopped moving at once. Then all of them looked toward Walter together. Walter realized immediately, oh no. The creatures rushed him all at once. Hundreds of smiling bodies swarmed across the yard. Walter fired wildly. Boom. But they kept coming. Marcus pulled Tyler up hard, while Walter disappeared beneath the crowd screaming. Then silence. Complete silence. Rain poured over the roof. Walter was gone. Only blood remained near the porch. Tyler whispered shakily, "We're dead." Marcus looked around desperately, then noticed something. The broken roof hole beneath them led directly into the upstairs hallway again. But now the walls looked different. Pulsing like flesh. The house was changing fully now. Marcus suddenly remembered Walter's words. The house feeds on fear. Not blood. Not bodies. Fear. And Marcus realized something else too. Every time they panicked, the house grew stronger. The woman smiled at him knowingly. You understand now. Marcus slowly stood up, breathing hard. Then for the first time all night, he stopped being afraid. The woman's smile twitched slightly. Marcus stared directly at her. You need a scared. Silence. The woman's face slowly changed, less confident now. Marcus stepped closer. You can't force us. We feed you. The house groaned loudly around them. The smiling people below suddenly became still again. Watching nervously now, Tyler looked confused. Marcus, what are you doing? Marcus kept staring at the woman. You're starving. The woman's smile finally disappeared completely, and suddenly the house screamed. Not metaphorically. Actually screamed. The walls shook violently, while every trapped face inside them cried out together. The creature wearing the woman lunged at Marcus in pure rage. Marcus grabbed the lantern, hanging near the broken attic window instantly, and smashed it directly onto her. Fire exploded across her body. The woman shrieked horribly, not human anymore. Her skin split open, revealing darkness underneath. The fire spread fast across the breathing walls. The farmhouse panicked. Doors slammed wildly. The ground beneath the house shook violently. Tyler shouted, Marcus, the house is burning. Good. Flames spread everywhere now. The smiling people below began screaming, while their bodies melted into black liquid. The entire farmhouse twisted unnaturally, as if trying to escape the fire itself. Marcus grabbed Tyler. Move. Both jumped from the roof into the muddy cornfield below, just as the farmhouse began collapsing inward. Not downward. Inward. Like something beneath it was pulling it underground. The burning house screamed one final time, then disappeared beneath the earth completely. Silence. Only rain remained. Marcus and Tyler lay in the mud, breathing hard, while smoke rose into the stormy night. The smiling people were gone. The field was empty now. Normal. Finally normal. Tyler whispered weakly. Is it over? Marcus looked toward the dark hole, where the farmhouse once stood. For a moment nothing moved. Then deep underground something smiled, and far beneath the earth, Marcus heard knocking. Knock. Knock.